Cutiecalities, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to crochet this pattern right here that I found on Google, and it will be on my website for you guys to check it out, so it's going to be linked in the description below for you guys. And for this video I'm going to be using a 3mm hook, a small pair of scissors, and this yarn right here, which is also going to be linked down in the description below for you guys to check it out. This pattern I'm going to be using for my next project here on my channel, so I decided to do for you guys a small video showing you guys exactly how to do the pattern, so I can explain each row very slowly and also with a lot of information for you guys. And the only thing that you guys want to make sure is that you have a chain, which is right at the beginning right here, that is a multiple of 18. So if you see from the beginning of the shell all the way to the end of the shell, it's 18 stitches. And it's also the same thing if you're working in rounds. You just want to make sure that you have a multiple of 18, so you have the pattern right, and also that you don't get a little bit confused when going to the next row. Also, some of you wanted me to do patterns from different countries. This one is a Spanish pattern. As you can see, it's all written in Spanish, but it's self-explanatory because you're just going to be following the pattern and also the symbols right here. That's why they're making symbols, so it's very easy for everyone to understand and make. So you're going to be making a slip knot, and then you're going to be making a chain that is a multiple of 18. I'm going to be making 54 plus 4 so I can do my double crochets. So now you're going to be counting here 1, 2, 3, 4, which are the ones that we've just created. And then on the chain number 54, so on the fifth one, you're going to be creating your first double crochet. Then you're going to be chaining 2, you're going to be skipping 2, so 1, 2, this is not 1, okay, this is from the double crochet. So 1, 2, on the third one, your next double crochet. Chain 2, skip 2, so 1, 2, on the third one, your next double crochet. So now you can just go ahead and repeat all the way to the end of the chain, and then once you have 2 chains left, come back and then I'll show you guys what to do. So now once you have 2 stitches left, you're just going to be creating 2 double crochets into those stitches, and then at the end right here you will have 3 double crochets. So now you're going to go up 4 chains, and then you're going to be turning the project. You're going to be skipping the 2 double crochets right here, going into the chain space here, and then into that chain space you're going to be creating 3 double crochets. Chaining 3, and then skipping the next chain space into the next one, 3 double crochets. Chain 3, skipping the next chain space into the next one, 3 double crochets. And then you're just going to be repeating the same all the way down. At the end you're just going to be chaining 3 and then skipping, just following the pattern, into the next chain space, 3 double crochets. And then to finish the row you're going to be chaining 1, skipping this double crochet into the very last stitch, which is right here. We have the chain here. You're going to be creating your last double crochet. So now we are going to be doing the third row, and we are going to be following exactly the same steps as on the previous row, on the second one, but on every 3 double crochets we are going to be adding 5 chains in between them. So you can see here 1, 2, 3 double crochets, and then we have here 5 chains, and then 1, 2, 3 5 chains. Of course we are doing just a little swatch, so it's going to be different here at the end and at the beginning. So now for the third row you're going to be chaining 3, turn project. Right here on top of the 1 chain space you're going to be doing a double crochet, and then you're going to be chaining 3, skipping the 3 double crochets here in the previous row. In the chain space, you're going to be doing 3 double crochets, so following the same pattern as on the previous row. So now, of course, because we are trying to match the pattern here into the square, we are going to now create a 5 chain, and then skipping here the 3 double crochets into the next chain space, you're going to be creating 3 double crochets. So now it's when the pattern starts. So you're going to be creating 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3, and then right here on top we are going to be creating the chain of 5. So you're going to be following the same pattern. So chain 3, skip the double crochets into the next chain space, 3 double crochets, chain 3, and then in the next chain space, 3 double crochets. So once you have this sequence, so 3 double crochets right here, 3 chains, 3 double crochets, 3 chains, and 3 double crochets. So this sequence right here, on the next one, on the next chain, you're going to be creating a chain of 5. And then in the next chain space, you're going to be doing 3 double crochets. So now you're going to be doing another sequence here. So double crochets, chain 3, double crochets, chain 3, and double crochets. So now you're going to be doing another chain 5, and then 3 double crochets in the next chain space available. And then at the end here, you're going to be chaining 3. And then right here, you're going to be creating 2 double crochets. So 1 on top of the chain, and then the last one, grabbing here the very last stitch. So now we are going to be starting here with the actual pattern, okay? This here in the middle, the little triangle, and then the shells. So first you're going to be chaining 1, turn project, and then in the very first stitch, so this one right here, on top of this first double crochet, you're going to be creating a single crochet, and then chain 1, and then on top of the chain right at the beginning, you're going to be doing another single crochet, and then you're going to be chaining 3, and then in the chain 5 we are going to be doing 3 double crochets, you're going to be chaining 5 again, and 3 more double crochets, all in that chain 5 space. So now you're going to be chaining 3. Now into the next chain 3 space right here, you're going to be doing a single crochet, you're going to chain 3, and then in the next chain space, so skipping the 3 double crochets right here, a single crochet, and then you're going to be chaining 3 and jumping into the next chain 5, and then you can do exactly what you did on the previous one. So 3 double crochets, chain 5, and 3 double crochets. So now just following the same pattern, you're going to chain 3, in the next chain space, a single crochet, chain 3, skip the double crochets in the next chain space, another single crochet. So you're going to chain 3 in the chain 5 space, you're going to be creating 3 double crochets, a chain of 5, and 3 more double crochets. So now you're going to be chaining 3, and then right here in the chain you're going to be creating a single crochet, and then chaining 1, skipping the next stitch into the last one, which is this one, you're going to be creating a single crochet. So now for the next row, you're going to be chaining 1, turn project, on top of the single crochet that we've created at the beginning, you're going to be doing a single crochet, and then also here on top of the one chain that we've created, so single crochet as well. So chain 2, skip the chain right here, go into the first double crochet here on top of the 5 chains. So right here we are going to be creating 3 double crochets on top of the 3 double crochets, And then here on top of the chain, you're going to be creating 3 double crochets. Chain 3 and 3 more double crochets here on the chain. And then exactly what you did on the other side, here on top of the 3 double crochets, you're going to be doing 3 double crochets. So you're going to be chaining 2. So here, as you can see, we have 3 here with the shell, 3 here with the other shell that we're going to be creating. So in the middle one, so this one, you're going to be creating 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to be chaining 2 and then repeat exactly what you did on the other shell. So 3 double crochets on top of these 3 double crochets right here, and then 3 double crochets, a chain of 3 and 3 double crochets here on top of the chain 5, and then to finish here the shell, 3 double crochets on top of the 3 double crochets. And then you're just going to be following the same steps all the way to here, and then I'll show you guys how to finish it off. So now to finish it off, you're just going to be doing exactly what you did at the beginning. So chain 2, a single crochet here into the chain 1, and then another single crochet into the very last stitch. So now for the next row, you're going to be chaining 1, turn project, and then you're going to be chaining 1 into the very first stitch that you can find on top of the single crochet here on the previous row, and then you're going to be chaining 2. So now you're just going to be following the stitches here in the double crochets, and you're going to be creating the double crochets on top of these stitches right here into the previous row. So you're going to be having 6 double crochets right here, and when you get here at the top, so in the chain 3 space, you're going to be doing 3 more double crochets. And then you're going to be doing 3 more for the other side. So no chaining, just creating 3 more double crochets into the chain, so 6 in total. And then you're going to be creating the next 6 double crochets on top of the previous 6 double crochets. So now you're going to be chaining 2, and then right here we have 3 single crochets. So into the middle one, you're going to be creating a single crochet, chaining 2, and then you're going to be repeating exactly what we did on top of this shell. You're going to be repeating into the next shell. Okay, so you're going to be creating 6 double crochets right here, 6 double crochets right in the middle, plus 6 double crochets on top of the other double crochets. So now you're going to be chaining 2, so following exactly what we did right here. Go into the middle single crochet, create a single crochet, chaining 2, and then do exactly the same on top of this shell, and then I'll show you guys what to do at the end. So now at the end, you're just going to be chaining 2 and then creating a single crochet into the very last stitch that you can find. So now we are going to chain 4 and turn the project. Go here into the very first double crochet, and then you're going to be creating a double crochet, and then you're going to be chaining 1, skipping a stitch into the next one, a double crochet, chain 1, skipping a stitch into the next one, a double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet into the next one. So you're going to be doing double crochet, chaining 1, skipping 1, all the way until you get here right in the middle of the shell. So you have 3 double crochets on this side and 3 on this side. So you're going to be creating the last double crochet right here, chaining 2, and then the other double crochet, and then following the same pattern as here to the other side. So once you did that double crochet, you're going to be chaining 2 and then following with the pattern. Okay, so chain 1, skipping 1, double crochet into the next. and just making sure that you're going to be covering all of the double crochets in the previous row. This is my last one. So now we are going to be skipping all of this and go directly into the next double crochet available, so into the next shell. So right here, and then making sure that is nice and secured and tight, and creating the double crochet right there. And then you're going to be following the same steps, so chaining one, skipping one, double crochet into the next, all the way to the top. So it's basically creating 4 squares, and then into the 5th one, instead of chaining 1, chaining 2, and then double crochet into the next one. So right here you're not going to be skipping, and then continuing with the pattern all the way down the shell. So you basically have 4 squares on this side, 1 right in the middle here at the top, so it follows this pattern as you can see, and then 4 on the other side. So now you can just repeat the same pattern all the way down, and then I'll show you guys what to do at the end. So now to finish this row, you're going to be skipping this chain here, the chain 2 that we've created, and you're gonna go into here the single crochet, and you're going to be creating a treble crochet. So you wrap the yarn 2 times around the hook, go through the single crochet, grab the yarn over the first 2 loops in the hook, the next 2 loops, and the last 2 loops. So now we are going to be creating single crochets all the way here on the top, chaining 1, turning project, and then you're gonna create a single crochet here on the very first stitch, and then a single crochet on top of the double crochet, single crochet on top of the chain 1, single crochet on top of the double crochet, and then this is what we are going to be doing for this part. At the chain 2 at the top, you're going to be creating 2 single crochets. So here we go, the chain 2, 2 single crochets, and then continuing all the way into the middle. So I'll show you guys what to do when we get there. So right here in the middle where the 2 double crochets are, you're going to be creating a single crochet right in the middle of them, okay? Not on top of them, just here in the middle. So you're going to be doing a single crochet into that chain, so basically the previous chain, and then skipping this one, which is the double crochet one, so creating right in the middle, and then going into the next chain right here, and then on top of the double crochet, just covering all of the stitches, and then the last single crochet you're going to be creating on top of this very last double crochet right here. So now the next row we are going to be doing this right here on top of the shells, so we can go into the next sequence of shells. So now for that row we are going to be starting with a chain of 5, turning the project. So after you created the chain 5 here, so we can go to that part, we are going to be working with different stitches right here. So we are going to be creating with normal double crochet that we've been creating right here, and then we are going to be creating a treble crochet and a double treble crochet, and the amount of lines right here is the amount of loops that you're going to be creating when you're doing the loops in the hook. So you're going to be wrapping the yarn around your hook 3 times, so 1, 2, and 3, skipping one into the next one, the treble. So you're going to be yarning over once, twice, 3, 4 times, as you can see, and then you're going to be chaining 2, so we have chaining 2 right here, and then the treble crochet, skipping 2 into the 3rd one, so 1, 2 into the 3rd one, the treble. So yarn over 2 times into the 3rd one, the treble, 1, 2, and 3, and then chain 2, and then the double crochet, skipping 2 into the 3rd one here on top of this double crochet, a double crochet, So these are the ones that we are going to be working on now. And then chain 2, skipping 2, these ones at the top, into the third one, a double crochet, chain 2, skipping 2 into the third one, a treble, chain 2, skip 2 into the third one, a double treble. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chain 2, skipping 1, 2, 3 into the fourth one, another double treble. And then you're just going to be following the same steps all the way to the end. And then I'll show you guys, of course, what you do at the end of the row as well. So when you get here at the end, you're just going to be creating another double treble into the very last stitch. So it's basically exactly the same as at the beginning right here, as you can see. So now the next thing we are going to be doing is the base right here, which is basically exactly what we did at the beginning on top of these stitches right here. So that's basically the same as we created right here. And also when we are creating here the chain 5, is going to be basically exactly the same, but now we have to make sure that we do right in the middle of the previous shells. So right here into that stitch, right here and right here. So chain 3, turn project, and then double crochet on top of the double treble. Chain 3, skipping the next chain space here on the bottom, and then into the next chain space you're going to be creating 3 double crochets, and basically just following the same pattern all the way down. And then here at the end you're going to be chaining 3 and then creating 2 double crochets on top of the double trebles right here. So 1 on top of this one, and then the last one on top of the last one. So now we have a half shell on this side and another half shell on this side. So we are going to be creating here, as you can see, a chain 4 plus 2, so that's 6, and right here, so 6 chains here at the beginning. Turn project, now 3 double crochets into the next chain space available. So now you're going to be chaining 3 and then creating again the same sequence as I showed you guys at the beginning. We have 3 little shells of 3 double crochets, and then of course the chains in the middle. And then when you have that sequence is when you're going to be creating the chain of 5, so we can do the shell on top. And if you need a guidance, it's basically here where we've created the 2 double trebles here, skipping the 3 double crochets in here into the next chain space. You're going to be creating 3 double crochets, then you're going to be creating another sequence of double crochets and chains. So when you get right here that we have to do the next shell, you're going to be chaining 5, and then you're going to be creating the 3 double crochets. So just getting here at the end, and I'll show you guys what to do because we have half shells on both sides. So now to finish it off and be the same as the other side, you're going to be chaining 2 and creating a treble crochet into the very last double crochet here in the previous row. So what I'm going to be doing now is show you guys how you do the half shell because right here in the middle it's basically exactly what I showed you guys how to make right here. So I'll just show you guys how you make the half shells on the sides if you end up having to make a half shell. You're going to be starting with a chain of 6, turning project, and then here where you see these 3 double crochets right here, you're going to be creating 3 double crochets on top. And then now just following the same pattern as I showed you guys before, you're going to be chaining 3 and then here creating a single crochet into the chain that you can find, the very first one, and then chaining 3, skipping the double crochets into the next chain space, single crochet, and then chain 3, and then you're going to be creating the next shell just as I showed you guys before. So I'll skip the middle step for now because I showed you guys already how to make, and then I'll jump into the sides here of the project, which is basically the half shells. Okay, so just follow exactly the same as I showed you guys here for this middle part right here, and then I'll just meet you guys on the sides. So when you get here at the end again, you're going to be chaining 3, and then you're going to be creating the double crochets on top of the double crochets. So 3 double crochets right here, and then you're going to be chaining 2 and then creating a treble crochet here on the chain. So you have 2 chains right here. On the third one, it's where you're going to be creating the treble crochet. So now for row number 12, we are going to be chaining 4 and turning project. So we are going to be creating 3 double crochets here on the chain, and 3 double crochets on top of the previous 3 double crochets. So now you can just go ahead and follow the pattern, and then I'll meet you guys when I get at the end, so I show you guys what to do on the other half shell. So at the end, you're going to be chaining 2 right here, creating the double crochets on top of the double crochets, so we can create the other half of the shell on this side. And then 3 double crochets here in this chain here in the corner. Then chain 1. So here in the chain you're going to be creating, because we have to create the last double crochet, so you're going to be counting 1, 2, 3 into the 4th one right here. You're going to be creating the last double crochet. So now next row we are going to be chaining 3, turn project. So this is now my 3rd row for the shell, and this row is basically only double crochets. So here in the chain 1 space, you're going to be creating 2 double crochets, because we are counting the chain 3 at the beginning as 1 double crochet as well. And then you're going to be creating double crochets going down until the last double crochet right here. So just continue creating, and for this part you need to make sure that you have 9 double crochets, including the chain at the beginning as well. So now I'm just going to be continuing the pattern, and then I'll show you guys how to do the other half shell at the end. So now I'm just creating here my 6 double crochets on top of the 6 previous double crochets. So now when I get here at the chain, I'm going to be creating 2 double crochets, and then the last one connected to the chain here at the end, to my very last stitch. So now going into my next row, I'm going to be chaining 4, turning my project. So now we are going to be skipping the very first one, the second, on the third one. We are going to be creating the double crochet, chain 1, skipping 1 into the next one, a double crochet, chain 1, skipping 1, double crochet into the next, and just repeat all the way down. And then here you're just going to be continuing the pattern, and then I'll meet you guys at the end. So now, following the pattern, you're going to go into the very first double crochet and then create all the squares that you need for the other side as well. And then here, skipping one, and then this is the last one right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So it's exactly the same on both sides. So now it's going to be the last row that I'll show you guys, because it's basically repeating all the pattern again. So now it's the single crochets on top of all this, all the shells. So chain 1, turn project into the very first double crochet here, single crochet, and then on top of the chain, on top of the double crochet, on top of the chain, and then just continue all the way to the other side with very simple single crochets on top. So when you get towards the end, it's basically exactly the same as at the beginning. And then for the very last single crochet, just find the very last stitch and create the last single crochet. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I made this video with the pattern because I think it's going to be easier for you guys to follow my next video, which is going to be using this pattern, but I'm not gonna have a lot of time to explain as I did in today's video. And also you get a little bit more familiar on how the pattern looks like and everything that you have to do in order to follow the pattern as well when I'm explaining, because I'll probably explain a little bit faster than what I did in today's video. And of course, if you want to make in round, then you just want to make sure that you have a multiple of 18, and it's basically exactly the same as I showed you guys, but working in rounds. As you can see, if I put these two together, they're just going to be connected, and it's basically following exactly the same pattern as when it's open. Okay, so just make sure that you follow all the steps that I showed you guys in today's video, and also that you have a multiple of 18 right at the chain in the base, and everything is gonna be okay, and you're not gonna be making any mistakes or anything like that. So I really hope you guys really enjoyed today's video, and if you did, make sure you give a massive thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe so you can join the Cutiecality family and watch more of my videos. So stay tuned for my next video. Bye bye.